You already know what time it is. It is time to reread Harry Potter 6 and 7 and I am so excited. If you missed my first 2 parts to the series, I will have them linked below. I am so excited because like I've mentioned before, I have not reread these books since probably like elementary to middle school. So it's been a long time and I've forgotten a lot of what happens. This will be a full spoiler video, so buckle in, grab a snack, and let's get reading book number 6, which is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I love how in the beginning of this book, the Minister of Magic and the Prime Minister of England are having a meeting, like a work meeting. It cracks me up because when they first meet up, Fudge is pretty much like, well, you're not gonna tell anyone that like we're meeting because people are just gonna think you're crazy. And that is so funny. And also, I feel like as a kid, I definitely would have read this and been like, okay, see, I know our government's hiding something from us and they're meeting with the wizards and not telling us. I definitely would have thought that probably. I'm wondering if we're literally only going to get this first chapter with the 2 ministers or if we're gonna kind of like loop around, because I feel like if we just get this one chapter, there's like not a whole lot going on. Like it's like nice to know, but like where's the rest of it, you know what I mean? But I can't remember ever getting any other information about the prime ministers speaking with each other. Look at me and my bestie right now. Hi. Okay. I just read the 2nd chapter, which is the chapter where Snape and Narcissa, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they make the unbreakable vow, and you don't find out in this chapter what Draco was asked to do and why Narcissa is like worried. I thought that we did. Dumbledore is picking up Harry from the Dursleys right now, and we just found out that Harry inherited everything from Sirius, including Creature, which I think is interesting because, well, I don't remember what's about to happen with that, if anything happens at all, that is, but I think it's funny because Hermione is gonna have a little fit and she's not gonna be happy. Harry is finally back at the Burrow where he belongs. Hi, hey, what's up? I'm realizing I haven't told you what page I'm on at all so far, and I'm now on page 85. We were just reintroduced to the clock that Mrs. Weasley has, the one with all the hands that either point to like mortal danger, traveling, at home, work, school, whatever, and they have the faces of all of her family members on it. I love this clock, but it's also so sad that like Harry makes a note that Mrs. Weasley is now carrying this clock around with her and that now everyone is always being pointed to mortal danger because, you know, he who shall not be named is back. But yeah, this clock is just, it's so cool. I guess a lot of this book to me is just like, how do people think of these things? Like, this is just so cool. I don't know why, but I find it kind of odd that Harry, Ron, and Hermione decided to follow Malfoy in Diagon Alley. It just seems almost a little random to me, and also just like, I feel like Hermione would have put up a fight and been like, no, we shouldn't do that when there's, you know, dangerous people about, and Mrs. Weasley would probably have a heart attack if she couldn't find us. But she was just like, yeah, let's go for it. But I don't know, maybe it is realistic. What do you think, Elmy? What do you think? She agrees. I just read probably my least favorite part in this book, and it's on page 154, and it's when Harry was just hiding under his invisibility cloak and spying on the Slytherins, and Malfoy found out, so Malfoy like straight up broke his nose and like stunned him so he can't move, hoping that the train would then take him back to London and that no one would find him. But I don't know why, that's just one of my least favorite parts of the book. And even in the movie, I'm like, ugh, I'm not like, ugh. It's just uncomfortable to watch and to read. But I don't even know why, because nothing that bad happens. It's just like, ugh, Harry, really? I just actually laughed out loud at page 180. They're in Defense Against the Dark Arts with Snape and they're practicing nonverbal spells, and Ron is just really struggling and Snape is like, no, like let me show you how to do it. And so he tries to like hex Harry, and so Snape says, do you remember me telling you that we're practicing nonverbal spells, Potter? Yes, said Harry stiffly. Yes, sir. There's no need to call me sir, Professor. I literally was cracking up. That is so funny. Something about reading this book in particular really makes makes me wish I had special editions of these books because I have one of the illustrated ones at home. It's the very first book, and I do kind of want the rest of the series in the illustrated editions. I've also seen pictures of the leather-bound editions, and they look so cool on the inside. Like, they're not just leather-bound normal books, like they've got some stuff going on the inside, which is so cool. We brought out the pensive again for Dumbledore's first lesson with Harry, and I don't know what it is, but I love the pensive, and I'm loving where these lessons are going. Like, I don't remember a ton of what happens, which is nice, so I kind of feel like I'm like reliving it for the first time, because this one, I think he just met Voldemort's mother, I think, but we haven't gotten there yet. I'm on page 211. I just want to say we should be applauding Dumbledore for this. I cannot believe he has figured out this much about Voldemort's past, and he's the only one that's done this. Like, no one else in the wizarding community knows anything about Voldemort's past except Dumbledore and now Harry. Ron is so ridiculous in this scene. Like, just say you like Hermione. Just say it, okay? We know you do, so just say it. Basically, Hermione is like hyping Harry up, and she's like, Harry, like, obviously Quidditch is popular because like you're good looking and you're very popular, and now that you're like the chosen one. And Ron is like, well, like, I'm tall and I helped defeat Voldemort in the Ministry last year. He's like, look at my scars. It's like, Ron, come on, just tell Hermione. Tell her how you feel. I am not someone that enjoys the cold by any means, but doesn't this just sound so cozy? The sleet-spattered windows were rattling in their frames, and the room was chilly despite the fire crackling in the grate. And they're in a castle. I wish I was there too. I understand why Harry thinks that Malfoy is up to no good, because he is, but Harry, oh my goodness, let it go. We already know that Malfoy could not have cursed the necklace. It could be literally anyone else. Well, actually, I don't know if Malfoy cursed the necklace, but you know what? Maybe never mind. I actually don't know who cursed the necklace. Just finished the second meeting that Harry had with Dumbledore. I'm on page 279. I'm actually a pretty decent way in the book. Not quite halfway, but close. I don't know what I was going to say other than the fact that I love these meetings with Harry and Dumbledore. I feel like this is when Dumbledore's character shines. Like, we don't really get him a ton in the other books that I remember. I could be wrong. So I'm enjoying seeing him a little bit more in this book than we did in the other ones. Ron is obviously very upset that he's not getting invited to the Slug Club meetings, like the little meetings that Professor Slughorn has with all of his favorite students, and Ron has never been invited, but Hermione and Harry have. And first off, I don't know why he is so upset about the fact. Like, I don't know why he wants to be invited when Harry has managed to get out of all of them, and even Harry is like, you're not missing anything, Ron. But Ron and Hermione are fighting over the Christmas party that Slughorn is hosting, and Ron is just basically being jealous, but very rudely. And Hermione is like, well, I was going to invite you. And Ron's like, oh, really? And Harry's just like awkwardly standing over there, like to the side, and it's just so funny. I feel like we're starting to get more of like the tension between Ron and Hermione in these books, unless I'm making that up, but I can feel the tension. Okay, now Harry is starting to have feelings for Ginny. I know that Luna is like a very different character. She's just different, you know? And everyone is always so mean to her. They always call her loony. And I just want to say Harry is so slay for taking Luna to this party that Slughorn is throwing. Like, good for Harry, because Luna deserves to have some fun. You know, she deserves to have some friends. Harry just overheard Snape and Malfoy talking about Malfoy's plan, and now of course Harry is telling Ron about it. And Harry says that Snape made the unbreakable vow, and Ron says, an unbreakable vow? Nah, he can't have. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure, said Harry. What does it mean? And then Ron says, well, you can't break an unbreakable vow. And Harry says, I've worked that much out for myself. Funnily enough, what happens if you break it then? It's just funny to me that it's like, Harry's like, I worked that out myself, thank you. Like, obviously an unbreakable vow is unbreakable. Thank you for telling me something I already knew. There's little parts throughout this book that I find myself literally laughing out loud, and I don't think that they're actually supposed to be jokes. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to be laughing out loud, but I am. Here's one of them. Harry is at the Weasleys for Christmas, and he's talking to Lupin, and he asks Lupin if he's ever heard of the Half-Blood Prince. And Lupin says, there are no wizarding princes. Is this a title you have adopting? I should have thought being the chosen one would be enough. I just finished chapter 18, and it's kind of cracking me up that on Ron's birthday, he not only got a love potion accidentally given to him, but he also got poisoned. So he just had a rough birthday, and I forgot that that happens on his birthday. That's rough. But that also finally means goodbye Wan and Lavender. Is it Lavender? I don't even actually know. That's how insignificant her character is to me. I love Ron. I do. So don't take this the wrong way, but I am shocked that he's the one that suggests using the lucky potion to get Slughorn's memory. Because I've been waiting for that point this whole time because I remember him using the lucky potion so vividly, but I definitely didn't remember that Ron was the one that suggested it. But it's also funny because Hermione says, of course, why didn't I think of it? And it's like, yeah, babe, why didn't you think of it? Okay, this is really cute. Harry's saying that he wanted to save the potion for a day where he can figure out a way to break up Ginny and her boyfriend and somehow make Ron happy for Harry and Ginny, and that is so cute. Only took Harry months, but he finally got the memory from Slughorn. Also, I kind of feel bad for Slughorn because I think he's putting way too much blame on himself for the whole Horcrux memory situation, because it was like, yeah, you told him, but like he was probably gonna find out anyway because like obviously he knew enough to ask about it. So I don't know, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like he's putting too much blame on himself. Okay, they just found out that Voldemort split his soul into 7 pieces. I also didn't realize that that meant there's 6 Horcruxes and then the soul inside of Voldemort. I always thought that it was 7 Horcruxes, but that makes a lot more sense. I love that I was getting ready for bed just now thinking to myself that I can't wait to see Hermione's reaction to Harry learning about the 6 Horcruxes. I don't know why, but I'm like, I cannot wait. Harry just used the spell on Malfoy that causes him to like excessively bleed in the bathroom, and it's the spell that he found in his potions book. And at this point, Hermione has been giving Harry so much crap about trying out the spells in his potions book, and it's like, Harry, this just proves Hermione was right yet again. You should not be testing out random spells on people when you have no idea what they're going to do. Like, you literally could have killed Draco on accident with the spell. So obviously Snape knows where Harry got this spell from, so Harry is hiding his potions book from Snape, and he hides the book in the room of requirement, and it says that to make it more noticeable, he puts an ugly old warlock from the top of a nearby crate. He stood on top of the cupboard where the book was now hidden, perched a dusty old wig and a tarnished tiara. Is that tiara what I think it is? Because in my head, that's the Horcrux that they're looking for, is that tiara. Well, they're not looking for it right now, but they will be looking for it. I don't know, could be. I don't know if I said this just now, but Harry took Ron's potions textbook to like play it off as his own with Snape's, and Snape is like, this is yours? And Harry's like, yeah. And Snape's like, are you sure? And Harry's like, yeah. And Snape says, then why does it have the name Ronald Waslib written inside the front cover? Harry says, that's my nickname. And Snape says, your nickname? Harry says, yeah, that's what my friends call me. And Snape says, I understand what a nickname is. Why is that so funny to me? Like, and it's also because since these books are like now movies, in my head, Snape's character sounds like Snape like in the movies. And I feel like having their character voices in my head just makes it so entertaining. Not that they aren't entertaining before that by any means. I love when books give me real life emotions. Like Harry just kissed Ginny for the first time, and I literally giggled and went like this with my book. Like, I just love that. So close. Oh my gosh. I just kicked over my cat's water bowl. Anyways, I'm on page 579. So I just got to the part where they got the Horcrux, and this was the Horcrux where it was in a cave surrounded by water, and the water had like the dead people in it. And you know what? I just want to know how Voldemort had planned to get this Horcrux on his own. Like, obviously the Horcrux doesn't know that it's not Voldemort getting it, or there would have been a way for him to not let anyone but himself get it. Or I guess maybe he doesn't want that to happen actually, because like what if he can't himself go get the Horcrux? I don't know. I just want to know like what his plan was, because like not even 2 wizards could get on the boat to cross the water. So like what was his plan? That's what I want to know. And also it kind of breaks my heart that at the end of this chapter Dumbledore says, I'm not worried, Harry, I'm with you. Obviously Dumbledore and Harry at this point don't know that that's going to be one of the last things that he ever says to Harry, and I'm not mentally prepared to read that scene. I kid you not, I just stared into space for like 5 minutes and did absolutely nothing because I had just read Dumbledore dying. Oh my god. Just, I cannot believe that he was basically begging Snape for help, and Snape was just like, and kills him. I'm almost done with the book. Harry just found out that Snape is the one who's the Half-Blood Prince, but honestly, after what just happened to Dumbledore, that doesn't even feel like a shock. Like, that's just like, it just feels like whatever, you know? I'm about to start the final chapter of this book, and I just spent the last chapter crying the whole time. I was not expecting Dumbledore's death to hit me like this, but it did, which is so odd because it's like I knew it was coming. I was trying to mentally prepare myself for it, but obviously I failed. I did not prepare myself for it at all. Oh, That's so sad. Okay, I'm gonna finish and I'm probably gonna keep crying. I know that this is actually never going to happen, but it would have been so cool to have gotten Draco's point of view of this book, because like this book he's doing so much behind the scenes that you don't really know about until the end. It would have been so cool to know like what he was thinking, especially at the end with the scene with Dumbledore where it was like he might have lowered his wand, but did he? And what was he thinking when he did that, you know?
Say hello. Meow meow.
I just finished Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Obviously, I love all of these books so much, but this one hit so hard and I got so emotional towards the end. I don't know what it was. Something about this one really was tugging on my heartstrings. Since you already saw all of my reactions to that book, I feel like I don't need to tell you how I'm feeling right now. I obviously loved it, okay? Now we're gonna move on to the final book in this series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I think this one is the biggest. I don't actually know, but it's pretty big. Let's check how many pages it is. 759 pages. Oh my goodness. That's pretty big. Also, I know I mentioned this already in this video, but I can't stop thinking about getting the special editions of these books. Well, I don't even know if they consider them special edition, if they sell them all the time, but like the illustrated copies or the leather-bound copies. I don't know, because I feel like I don't need to have both as in the illustrated copy and the leather copy, but oh, and the regular copy. Did I forget that I already have those copies? I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. Also, at the same time, I don't really have space to have multiple copies of books because you can probably tell I don't even have a bookshelf in my apartment. I do at home though. Anyways, let's go read. Literally me getting distracted as always. I'm literally only on page 4 right now, but I'm already like, what the heck is happening? Why does Snape know that Harry is being moved from his house on Saturday at nightfall? Like he says that it came from the order that like Harry is being moved. Why does Snape know that? How does he know that? Like, shouldn't they have cut him off from the order, you know, when he maybe killed Dumbledore? That might have maybe been a good idea. I'm on page 35 right now, and I don't know why, but I am so shocked that the Dursleys think that Harry is trying to kick them out so that he can steal their house, when in reality he's trying to get them to leave to keep them safe. I just finished chapter 3, so I just saw the Dursleys say goodbye to Harry, and it makes me so upset that they didn't add that in the movie. Like, I'm sure a lot of us have seen the deleted scene of Dudley specifically saying goodbye to Harry, because that moment is like so sweet. Because literally Harry says it in the book, like that coming from Dudley is like him saying I love you. Like, it's just such a cute goodbye. I actually hate when authors do this. There was literally no need to kill Hedwig. Tell me what that does to the plot to kill the owl. Tell me, please, because it does nothing except make me sad. Anyways, as you can probably tell, they have just left Privet Drive for the last time, and 6 of them I think have turned into Harry so that they can like sneak off to different houses and different places and no one like can tell who Harry is. And I knew this part was different than it is in the movie. I just couldn't remember how it was different, but I feel like the way they do it in the book makes a lot more sense. But that scene in the movie is very funny with all the Harrys in the room, so I'll give it to them. Ignore my hair. Ron just had a moment that I think every kid in their lifetime has had. His mom was like, clean your room before the wedding tomorrow, and Ron was like, why do I need to clean my room? And she was like, well, we're having a wedding tomorrow. And Ron was like, yeah, I know, but the wedding is not in my room. Why do I have to clean my room? I swear so many kids have had this conversation with their parents. The wedding's not in my room. Why does it matter? During this whole book, Ron has been super sweet to Hermione, and we just figured out why. So it's Harry's birthday, and Ron gave him a book, and it's 12 fail-safe ways to charm witches. Ron says it explains everything you need to know about girls. If only I'd had this last year, I'd known exactly how to get rid of Lavender, and I would have known how to get going with, well, Fred and George gave me a copy and I've learned a lot. You'd be surprised. And he's definitely talking about Hermione, and that's so cute. But it's also like, why did Ron give Harry that book when it's obvious that Harry and Ginny still like each other? Like, they only broke up because Harry didn't want Ginny to get hurt, like, by Voldemort. So, kind of a weird gift choice if you ask me, but I don't know. For some odd reason, Fleur invited Crumb to their wedding, and he gets there, and of course Ron is like upset that he's there because Ron likes Hermione, and Hermione and Crumb have a past, whatever. It says Harry, who had no grudge against Crumb, shook hands. But what I don't understand is, how does Harry not have a grudge against Crumb? Does he not remember the way he acted during the Triwizard Tournament? Like, unnecessarily hexing everyone? And didn't he use an unforgivable curse? How does Harry have no ill will towards him? I'm a little confused. Wait, I just had a realization actually. When it says Harry, maybe it doesn't mean Harry. Maybe it means like because Harry took the Polyjuice Potion and is pretending to be someone else. Maybe it means that like it's not Harry. I don't know. I think I'm reading too much into this. I'm celebrating a friend's birthday tomorrow and I'm really hoping my hair will cooperate. That's why I look like this right now. But this whole time I was really confused because I remember at the movie, Death Eaters had like attacked the tent that they were holding the wedding at. And so this whole time I've been really confused because there's a bunch of like spells and enchantments to protect Weasley's house and the tent and all this stuff. So I was like, how are they gonna attack with all these enchantments? Like, I'm really confused. But I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen because I'm on page 159 right now, and Kingsley Shacklebot has sent a Patronus to warn everyone and basically saying that like Death Eaters are coming because the Ministry's fallen. So we're gonna see what's happening. Okay, literally the next page says that the enchantments around the burrow had broken and that people were separating or whatever it's called out of the burrow. So that makes a lot more sense already. I spoke too soon. I find it interesting that the color of this hardback is the colors of Slytherin, just in like lighter tones. I bet that was on purpose. If you ask me, I feel like that was on purpose. I've read so much today. I'm on page 216 and Lupin just met up with Harry, Ron, and Hermione and basically offered to help them, but then Lupin reveals that Tonks is pregnant and Harry gets mad because he doesn't want Lupin to leave the baby, obviously, and Tonks. But things go down. Harry and Lupin get in a fight, and this is another part of the book that I do not remember at all, but that was kind of rude of Harry. Like, obviously Lupin was not in the right here, but Harry, come on, why are you behaving this way when this could be the last time that you could see him? I mean, I don't think it is, but like it could be. You don't know. Yes, I'm at the gym listening to the audiobook, but I'm at the point where Harry, Ron, and Hermione are at the Ministry and they took Polyjuice Potion. So obviously like they're different people. And I think it's so funny that Ron runs into Harry again and Ron straight up just is like, oh, I forgot what you looked like since they took Polyjuice Potion. I don't know, I think that's so funny. I look so rough, but I am so tired today. I don't know what's going on, but I like can barely keep my eyes open. I literally just fell asleep twice trying to read, and it wasn't even just like fell asleep for like 20 minutes. No, like I took like 2 very long naps just now. So I am still listening to the audiobook because of that. I'm just so tired that like the act of reading in itself is just like, I can't do it. I'm too tired. So with that being said, I'm switching to the audiobook again because that way I can like move around and listen to the audiobook, and hopefully that will like, I'll wake up more and then I can go back to reading the book. I don't know why I just gave you all that information. That was a lot. I'm in the middle of chapter 16 and I'm at the point where Ron, Harry, Hermione, they're still on their little quest. Oh, actually that's not even true. They're still on their quest, but Ron has already left them because Ron had like his little temper tantrum, got mad and left, and Hermione was so upset for so long. So now Harry and Hermione are going to Godric's Hollow, like where Harry grew up, because now Hermione thinks that the sword could be hidden there, but really Harry just wants to go because that's where like he could have grown up, that's where his parents died. So I'm gonna keep listening like I said and then switch back to the book in a little bit. Page 351, and they just got back from Godric's Hollow, and that's when like the woman turns into a snake and attacks Harry, and then Voldemort comes, the whole thing basically. But it's also like, y'all, we saw that coming. That's why they didn't go to Godric's Hollow before. I just got to my favorite part of this book, and it's when Harry, Ron, and Hermione go to the Lovegoods house and they talk to Luna's dad, and specifically it's when Hermione is reading about the Deathly Hallows. I love that part. I actually have like a copy of that book, and I went through a phase once when I was younger where I was reading that book like probably once a month. Like I was so obsessed for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just was. But then obviously after that, the Death Eaters come to try to take Harry, Ron, and Hermione, but that's also when they find out that Luna was taken by the Death Eaters, but they think Luna's in Azkaban, which doesn't make sense to me why Luna would be in Azkaban if the Death Eaters took her. Harry using Voldemort's name with Ron this whole time has been like, don't use his name, like they're tracking people when they use his name, and then Harry using his name and they get caught by a bunch of Death Eaters literally the second after. Coincidence? No, it's not. Draco is so slay. He was literally just born into the wrong family, and this scene proves it, where they bring Draco in to try to identify Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and he's like not really looking at them, like he's doing everything he can to not identify them. I love Draco. I just got to my least favorite part. I want to skip this part. It's when Dobby, I don't even want to say it. I think you guys know what I'm talking about though. It's when they're trying to separate or whatever it's called, and Bellatrix throws a knife at them while they're leaving and it hits Dobby. This hurts. 29, and I'm finally at the part where Harry, Ron, and Hermione just apparated into Hogsmeade and Dumbledore's brother saved them. So Harry finally knows who had the other piece of the mirror, and they've just now caught up with Neville, who is bringing them into Hogwarts, which apparently this is like the only way that they can get into Hogwarts now at this point, which I don't know, I just think that's interesting. And also this is one of the parts that I like very distinctly remember for some reason. Them running into Dumbledore's girl, them meeting Dumbledore's brother for the first time and going through this little tunnel to get back to Hogwarts. Harry just left the room of requirement to go see what the Ravenclaw tiara looks like, and first off, I'm still convinced of my earlier theory that he had literally moved the tiara when he went into the room of requirement to hide his potions textbook in the last book. I still think that's what happened, so I'm really excited to see if I was right or not, because I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what is happening. But they went to the Ravenclaw common room to look and see what the tiara looked like, which just obviously such a bad idea. Like, that is so stupid. You are literally the most sought after person ever right now. Why are you gallivanting around? Like, you can probably guess what a tiara from Ravenclaw looks like. If you ask me, like, you can probably guess, Harry. And also I feel like they would know a Horcrux when they saw one. So like, anyway, he literally gets caught by a Death Eater while doing that. So it's like, you literally wrote your own death sentence, Harry. Like, what were you doing? I only got to the part where Harry has the realization that he moved the tiara, and I'm just so proud of myself for getting that part right, because I normally do not pick up on the little foreshadowing clues like that, but I did this time, and I'm so proud that I did. So Harry is now on the way to the room of requirement to try to find the tiara. Ron is so slay for straight up breaking into the Chamber of Secrets to get the basilisk thing. That is so smart. Ron for the win. Oh my gosh. Ron and Hermione's kissing scene in the book is a million times better than it is in the movie, because Hermione straight up kisses him because Ron said that he wanted to save the house elf. That's so cute. I knew that Fred was about to die, so I was trying to mentally prepare myself, but I failed because, oh my gosh, I'm so sad right now. I'm like trying to not cry, but it's so sad. Snape just died and we're about to watch his memories in the pensive, and I don't know how to feel about Snape. It's either like, I either love him or I hate him. Right now I'm like, what is going on? Like, I cannot distinguish my emotions right now for Snape, which is weird because like I said, I normally love him or hate him, so this is a weird feeling for me. We're almost at the end, you guys. Harry just presented himself to Voldemort, and also all the ghosts like came out, so like you got to talk to Lupin and his parents, which is sad, but it's okay. This conversation that Harry is having with Dumbledore seems so different than the one in the movie. I definitely like this one better because we're learning a lot about Dumbledore and the Deathly Hallows, and you guys already know I'm obsessed with the Deathly Hallows. I don't know why, but I am. So them being in King's Cross is so smart, because then that gives Harry the opportunity to have the choice between basically dying or going back to fight Voldemort, since he can now do that without dying, since the piece of Voldemort that was inside him is now dead. Oh my gosh, this book is making me feel so bad for the Malfoys. Like, Narcissa coming in clutch for Harry by lying that Harry was dead. I mean, I know it like wasn't technically for Harry, like it was selfish reasons because she wanted to see Draco, but still, it was like she did not have to do that. I think this might be my love for Draco. Like, I'm a little biased, is basically what I'm trying to say, but still, Hagrid just carrying Harry up to the castle while absolutely bawling his eyes out is so gut-wrenching, and it's like, Hagrid, no, he's alive, like it's fine. But obviously like Harry can't tell him that. Creature leading the house elves against Voldemort is so cute. Like, this is Creature's redemption arc and I'm living for it. Page 744, because I'm realizing I've been really bad about telling you what page I'm on. But I had no idea that Voldemort basically killed himself. Like, he tried to kill Harry, but it says Voldemort was dead, killed by his own rebounding curse, and Harry stood with two wands in his hand, staring down at his enemy's shell. I literally had no idea. And it's funny though, because a couple pages before this, I was like, does Harry really have the guts to kill Voldemort? I don't know. This was his loophole. So many scenes in this book that prove that Luna is unbelievably slay. And one of them is when Harry and Luna are talking right after like Voldemort dies and everyone's kind of celebrating Harry, and like Harry basically has no space for himself. And he mentions like in his inner monologue like that no one seems to care that he hasn't eaten, hasn't slept in days, and like no one's giving him any space. So Luna says, I'd want some peace and quiet if it were me. Harry says, I'd love some, and she says, I'll distract them. Use your cloak. And then it says, before Harry could say anything, she says, ooh, look, a blibbering Hummindinger, I don't even know what that is, and pointed out the window, and everyone looked around and looked, and then Harry like slid under his invisibility cloak. I feel like I am a Luna and Malfoy fan club, me, which is such a weird combination. All right, everyone, I finished Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm sure you can tell that I'm obsessed with all of these books, but I will say with this one, I actually love how it ended. You know, obviously Harry kills Voldemort, and so everyone's all happy, the world celebrates, and then it does a little flash forward, and you see Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, and Draco all grown up with kids, and they're getting on the Hogwarts Express, and I love how that ends because I feel like, one, that's just a full circle moment, like their kids going to Hogwarts, so cute, but also personally for me it was the perfect amount of flash forward to end the story on a good note. I don't feel like I needed more than that little chapter and seeing them 19 years later. And I have read the screenplay of The Cursed Child and I thought that was really good, but that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what other series you want me to read, if that's either, you know, reading it for the first time with you guys or doing a reread like I did with this one. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!